there! I've had a long week of touring colleges, and I also have an announcement to make. I flew to Boston on Monday, and I've had a very backloaded week. I stayed home at my grandmother's house on Monday and Tuesday, just kind of doing work and chilling out. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had 3 separate college tours. I wanted to take some footage of the tours, but the weather was a little sketchy and I didn't want to risk my camera. So instead, I'll just tell you about them. The first one I went to was UMass Amherst, which is about a 2-hour drive from our house in the Boston suburb. Even though the school was the biggest that I went to all week, it didn't really feel like it when you would look at it. I mean, I know it has almost 30,000 students in that campus alone. The campus had such a community feel. I could never have been able to tell that the student population was 15 times the population at my high school. I mean, that could also have had something to do with the fact that it was still winter break, so not everyone was there, but there were still a decent amount of people for winter break. But the campus is really nice, and they even have a kosher dining hall. My uncle went there, so that's also a point in its favor. Their library is huge, and apparently on the 23rd story, they have all-around windows that if you go up and you look at them, you can get the best view of campus ever. I didn't get to do that because we were running late by the end of the tour, but it's still nice to know, and that's something to look forward to if I go there again. I guess it was mostly just your average college campus, but it was really nice. I don't have much to compare it to because the other 2 that I went to were private schools, but it certainly seemed nicer than the campus of the school I'm currently at. Our tour guide was really lovely, and everyone who she introduced us to was as well. I think that I would like the environment there too. The second college was my grandmother and parents' alma mater, and a favorite in everyone's eyes, Brandeis. That one was significantly closer to home, so I was already in a better mood when we got there because I didn't have to sit through a 2-hour car ride first. Not that I mind 2-hour car rides, especially with good company, but sometimes it can be a little tiring. I've been to the Brandeis campus before, so not everything was new, but it was still great to see from the perspective of a student. And I got inside a lot more of the buildings, and I got to see a lot more of the campus. I learned a lot of fun facts about the campus that I didn't know before. For instance, the castle that they have on campus, which is sophomore dorms. I learned on Thursday that the castle has an even cooler background. I mean, it's kind of funny. Okay, so here's the deal. The castle is from the college that was there before Brandeis, and it was built by, I believe, the founder of the college before then. Here's the funny part. The founder was traveling, I think it was in Scotland, and he came across a castle that he really liked. So he asked the owners if he could have their castle. Of course they said no because it's their castle. He then asked for the blueprints and they also said no to that. So here's the funny part. He hired painters to paint the castle from every angle. And then he brought those paintings home and he had architects build the castle from the outside in. He pirated a building. And then apparently, since it was built from the outside in, there are all sorts of hallways and staircases and stuff that just lead to nowhere and end in random places and doors that go to nothing because they had no idea what the inside was gonna look like when they built the outside, so they weren't really considering that. It's really funny and it makes me want to get inside all the more. I would love to live there. It seems like it's kind of like Hogwarts. And then the other cool thing that I didn't know about the Brandeis campus is a music building that they have. I think it's called Schlossberg. And apparently it has 88 windows to, you know, as a tribute to 88 keys on a piano. And that's just really cool in itself, but apparently if you look at it from an aerial view, it looks like a piano. How cool is that? And then yesterday, Friday, was Emerson, although I also kind of got a bonus at Northeastern because I have a friend there. Emerson is very different from any college campus I've ever been to. It's a very vertical campus with a few different buildings, most of which you can get between without having to go outside, which was a relief because it was kind of cold yesterday. It's right outside Boston Commons, and apparently because of that, the school doesn't need a central quad or whatever because all the students just go hang out on Boston Commons and even the Wi-Fi reaches there. Which, you know, is cool, and I would love to spend my spare time on Boston Commons, especially because my uncle works nearby and we could hang out sometimes. But it feels like without a center of the campus for everyone to kind of connect in, that kind of makes for a very disconnected college life. I mean, the really awesome dorms kind of make up for that. But I just think that it's hard to consider yourself a part of a community when there's no place for the whole community to gather. Okay, well that's it for colleges. Now moving on to my announcement. I I'm sure that you all are aware that over the course of first semester, I was doing a video series called Operation Dual Credit. This was about my experience in the dual credit system. I had intended for that to last across the entire year, but I've kind of found it harder to really be creative with that, and there are so many videos that I'd rather be making, and setting aside every other week to work on Operation Dual Credit just kind of takes away from my creative flow. So if anyone is really gonna miss Operation Dual Credit, let me know, and I may start it on a second channel, but I don't want to detract from the videos that I post on this channel anymore. And I really enjoy making all of these fun videos. And so I think it's bye-bye Operation Dual Credit for now, and hello to even more creative videos. So that is good news and bad news in itself, but it is certainly an announcement. All right. I have to go now because I am flying home today and there are many things that I still have to do before I do that. So that's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye!